The battle for chip talent refers to the competition among semiconductor companies, governments, and other tech sectors to attract and retain skilled professionals in the microchip and semiconductor industry. This field is increasingly critical as semiconductors are the backbone of all modern technology, powering everything from smartphones and computers to electric vehicles and advanced defense systems. However, the sector faces a strategic dilemma due to the growing demand for talent in a world where supply is limited. Here are some key strategic dilemmas associated with the battle for chip talent. Number 1. Talent supply versus demand. Dilemma. The demand for engineers, designers, and experts in semiconductor manufacturing far outpaces the supply. The educational pipeline is slow to catch up to this growing demand, and many semiconductor companies are competing for the same pool of talent. Strategic consideration. How can companies ensure a steady supply of talent? They may need to invest in long-term educational initiatives, partnerships with universities, or even retraining programs for existing employees in adjacent fields. 2. Geopolitical concerns and national security. Dilemma. With semiconductors being a strategic asset, countries like the US, China, and the EU are keen to secure domestic talent to reduce reliance on foreign chip makers. However, talent in this field is global, with expertise spread across different countries. Strategic consideration. Nations and corporations must decide between fostering international collaborations or prioritizing domestic talent development. For example, should the US continue to rely on global supply chains or build a self-sufficient talent pool? 3. Retention versus dilemma. Recruiting talent is costly and competitive, but retaining skilled employees is equally challenging, especially when competitors are willing to offer better packages. The constant poaching of talent can drive up costs and create a churn that is detrimental to innovation. Strategic consideration. How much should a company invest in retaining talent versus recruiting new talent? Striking a balance between creating attractive packages, fostering loyalty, and maintaining a dynamic influx of new talent is critical. 4. Innovation versus production. Dilemma. There's an ongoing tension between focusing talent on innovation, research and development of next-gen chips, and scaling production, mass manufacturing. Each area requires different expertise, but both are vital for long-term competitiveness. Strategic consideration. How can companies balance their investment in research with the need to scale production? Should they create separate divisions or invest in cross-training programs? Number 5. Global competition for top talent. Dilemma. The chip industry is global, and talent flows across borders, but restrictive immigration policies, especially in the US and Europe, may limit the flow of talent. At the same time, countries like China are aggressively building their domestic semiconductor talent pool. Strategic consideration. Should companies push for more open immigration policies to bring in talent or focus on developing local talent? How do companies navigate these restrictions while staying competitive? 6. The role of AI and automation. Dilemma. AI and automation are increasingly seen as potential solutions to the talent shortage, automating parts of chip design and manufacturing. However, these technologies also require highly specialized talent to implement effectively. Strategic consideration. Should companies focus on automating certain processes to reduce reliance on human talent, or invest in upskilling the workforce to work alongside advanced technologies? 7. Educational investment versus immediate need. Dilemma. There is a pressing need for immediate expertise, but developing the required talent through education and training takes years. Balancing the need for short-term solutions and long-term investment in talent development is a challenge. Strategic consideration. Should companies focus on hiring experienced professionals, which could be more expensive and competitive, or invest in training programs for new graduates and reskilling existing employees for long-term benefits? Number 8. Outsourcing versus in-house development. Dilemma. Companies can either outsource certain parts of semiconductor production and design to third-party companies, often based in countries with a large talent pool, or develop these capabilities in-house. Outsourcing can reduce costs, but creates dependencies. Strategic consideration. Should companies focus on building in-house talent to maintain greater control over innovation and security, or should they rely on outsourcing to manage costs and speed? However, 9. Equity and diversity in the talent pool. Dilemma. The semiconductor industry has historically been male-dominated, and a lack of diversity limits the talent pool. Attracting underrepresented groups could help address the talent gap, but requires significant changes in industry culture and practices. Strategic consideration. How can companies create more inclusive environments to broaden their talent pools? What diversity and equity initiatives should be prioritized to attract a more diverse workforce? Conclusion. The battle for chip talent presents a complex strategic dilemma, blending elements of workforce development, geopolitical tensions, and technological innovation. Companies and governments must adopt multifaceted strategies focusing on both immediate recruitment and long-term talent cultivation, while addressing global competition, retention, and the balance between innovation and production.